Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, September the 28th, and we are starting off on stage 1. Now I'm flaring just to get my tanks over there, but really what you want to do is drop your tanks where I dropped those critters, and then let them go around gathering up all that free GBE. And then you can use all that free GBE to blow up the cannon, or to blow up the rocket launcher, or to blow up your tanks because you're feeling especially crazy today. I don't know. Alright, it is a bit of a jog, and it does take some time, but I think your tanks can handle it. You'll be laughing. You'll be glad you got all that extra GBE just for good funds. Alright, stage 2. I know I'm dropping 3 boatloads of tanks, and it might be slightly overkill. But first, okay, in my defense, 160k on this HQ would take a while to go to. But primarily what I wanted to show you is, if you're landing your troops, and you do need to load all of your troops, if you split it up like that, it's a nice, easy way to get a little extra GBE. What I would suggest, just because as you can see, the far left kind of got separated from the other two. The other two merged up really nice and easily. Drop the far left tanks first, give them a few seconds, and then drop your other two, and then bring them all together, and everybody will live happily ever after. And then you can throw like 6 boxes of critters and blow up everything and get the win, and then do your PPAP dance, you know, little I've got the pen, I've got the pineapple, I've knocked my microphone. Alright, so it's maybe not the exact same song, but you get the hint. Okay, once again on stage 3, going and landing as far away as possible from the HQ, and then letting the tanks just go all over the place. Go to all the places. That's kind of the theme of today. I've basically like changed every level that I recorded into like fast forward speed, just because the tanks are all over the place. I don't know why. Now, this is kind of interesting because I wanted to point this out. I was like, okay, I've got my tanks, they're going through, and watch the rocket launcher at the south part of my screen. Do you see what's happening here? I got a tank who's just doing donuts out there in the woods, and that one rocket launcher is like, nah, don't care. Nope. This is the tank that I'm shooting at. It will be this tank and no other tank. Forever shall I blow up this tank. And I was like, wow, that's really weird. That's a strange thing for that rocket launcher to do. We'll leave it at that for now. So once you go across the like top part there of the map, you'll end up in the very top corner. You could throw a bunch of critters, take down the HQ from the safety of the top corner, and you will be able to move on to stage 4. And I'm gonna warn you, today, man, stage 4 is it's rough. Like really, really rough. So I landed over on the right-hand side because, well, it was a thing to do, and I started taking out the defenses. Now, one shock will take out the cannon and the sniper tower. You're gonna have to place it just right in order to actually get both. If you don't, make sure to kind of lean towards the cannon side of things, because the cannon will do more damage to your tanks than the sniper towers. If you're rolling, you know, like Riflemen Zooka, then lean it more towards the sniper tower. This is yeah. So, the reason that stage 4 is so crazy is because all of these different defenses have this huge health boost. Huge being like 116% health boost, which means like every defense we are going through has double the HP that it normally would. And it's not so much that like it's hard, and it's not that the tanks are almost dying. It's just, it takes so freaking long. And then I realize, hey, what's going on here? Look at this. Look at this rocket launcher. This rocket launcher is like, nope. this is the tank I'm going for. There's a tank right in between the rocket launcher and that other tank, and the rocket launcher is just like, I give no... Well, you know. Like, that is... I don't know. I don't know if something happened to the rocket launchers, but I feel like they may have been hanging out with the honey badger a little too much, and they just don't give a shit anymore. They are all over the place. I don't even know. Which is cool because, like, you know, if we can use that to our advantage. Yes. You see where I'm going with this. Throw out your heavies in one direction, run your Zookas right up straight at the rocket launcher, and obviously this is probably only going to work with tanks, and if you were to run your Zookas straight at the rocket launcher would just instantly turn and be like, oh, free Zookas, perfect, splat. But I'm not suggesting anyone try it, but it does seem kind of strange. There might be something going on. I don't know. Okay, stage 5. Like, stage 4 was hard just because of the sheer health of everything, and I'm sure you could probably do it an easier way if you crawled right up the center and, like, chopped off the whole right side. It would save you a bunch of time, you'd get more time on the HQ, blah, 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 blah. Well, stage 5 is kind of the opposite of that, where just, you've got to instantly be on everything. It's crazy. Now, the good news is one shock can take out both of those boom cannons, so drop a single shock, you'll actually take out the 2 cannons that are right on the beach also, allowing your tanks a little bit of time to, well, blow everything up, because that's really what they're there to do, right? But what you're gonna have to do is just continually, like, help your poor tanks through, just pouring GBE into this attack. It is a ridiculously energy costly attack, because you don't really have any buffer, you don't have any cannon food, you're just like slammed right into all of the boom cannons. As you saw, I blew up like 8 boom cannons before I even landed my troops. Okay, not 8, but you get the point. There were a buttload of boom cannons. And if you go around the left-hand side, like, yeah, okay, there's some flamethrowers and machine guns that you could kind of play around with, but man, like, ouch. Ouch, bro. Ouch. So, yeah, I really do wish you luck. And the killer thing is, if you try going around behind the HQ, you got 2 shock launchers up there, you still have to take out pretty much all the boom cannons that I took out, as well as an extra boom cannon and a bunch of sniper towers, and a partridge in a pear tree, because the partridge is holding on to a freaking laser, okay? Now, moving on to stage 6, we've got shock launchers galore all over the joint. I actually targeted the shock launchers to the, I guess, north and south of the boom cannons, and as you can see, I didn't even have to give any love to the boom cannon, because taking out the shock launchers was all it took to take out the boom cannons as well, and then I was able to kind of polish off the shock launchers, and then land all my troops, wham, right down in the corner. I feel like I need banjo music for that. Down in the corner, we're gonna have a... Anyways, when you throw your shock, make sure you hit the cannon and as many sniper towers as humanly possible. I'm pretty sure that limits you to 3 of the sniper towers in the cannon. I don't think it's possible to get all 4. I guarantee you it's not, but let's not get into that. I didn't realize there was another shock launcher right there. So make sure you're mindful of that shock launcher. Take it out before it's really a pain in your neck. And also be careful of the shock launcher that's still sitting back on the other side of the attack. You can see it almost claimed one of my poor tanks a victim of its wily ways. So throw down some GBE love all over its face so that you can reposition your tanks and just slam into the wall of sniper towers and cannons and everything. Now, I started throwing the shocks. You can take out the vast majority of those defenses with just one shock, but what you're going to have to do is save some energy for the critters, because lo and behold, those boom mines will do a number to your poor tanks. So yeah, it's another one of those, just pour the GBE out all over the battlefield as long as you can. Also, what I didn't realize, yeah, many things about this. I apparently need to scout better or something. There are like so many rocket launchers, and I know I always make fun of rocket launchers and call them cannon food, but when you get enough of them together, they can get kind of nasty and they can start doing horrible things to your poor tanks. And as you can see here, I kind of let the left flank of my attack just drift over towards the rocket launchers in an effort to take them out, because you do not want all those rocket launchers focusing on 3 or 4 of your tanks. They will do work. Okay, Stage 7, super fun Stage 7 today. I absolutely loved it. So, first off, super fancy corner landing, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 4 in the middle with all your healers. And what this is going to do is cause the shock launcher to fire at one of the 2 sides. It doesn't matter which side, but that means that at least 3 of your 5 boats of tanks are still going to be able to blow up the shock launcher, and all your medics are going to be available to do all kinds of healing. So super great way to land there. And honestly, I guess technically I didn't really have to land there, but I wanted to land there because if you do, you can farm up so much free GBE. As you can see, I'm just kind of letting my tanks drift forward into all these random defenses and not really doing much more than collecting a bunch of GBE, which is good because later on it comes in handy. It always does. Like, honestly, it's very rare that I'm like, well, this Stage 7's easy. I'm gonna just critter the base because I got so much GBE. I don't even care. You're gonna need it for shocks, because even though those cannons look low level, I promise you, they hit like a mule, or kick like a mule. They kick you and they hit like a mule. And no one likes a mule. Except for, I guess, I don't know, farmers? Farmers like mules? Anyway, so go along the left-hand side, go along the beach, gather up all that free GBE, and thank Dr. T for his poor base layout. And then you get to start spending it all. So spread the barrages around. First, I targeted the sniper towers that had boom cannons around them. And then I used one on the shock launcher just because I wanted a bunch of damage on there. And then I used artilleries to kind of finish the shock launcher off, as well as take out the 2 cannons that were touching it. And then the critters start getting tossed out to clear up the last of the boom mines, and then everybody gets pulled around into the bottom left-hand corner and just swings through right towards this big block of sniper towers. And as you can see from my poor guy on the far right, poor lady I guess technically, those sniper towers will do work on your poor troops if you do not pay attention to it. So make sure you throw a shock down on them just to kind of hold them at bay while your tanks work around that corner and come in a nice solid formed line. Once you do that, you're coasting up towards the HQ, and yeah, you might have to take out a sniper tower or 2 on the way, but you will get yourself a fantastically wonderful win with fantastically wonderful loot. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Hope you were entertained, and hope that this helped in some way, shape, or form.